Hello and welcome to my little channel. Today is June 6th, 2020. And boy, is the world on fire, or at least parts of the United States. And I just have a few thoughts I have on this. Now, before we get into what's happening now, we have to go into the brief history of I think about a week ago? Yeah, about a week ago, there's an officer that ended someone's life unjustifiably, and everybody was agreeing. Everybody agreed that the death of George Floyd was terrible. Yes, I think no one disagrees with that. No one disagrees that that cop should have been fired. No one disagrees that cop should be charged. And no one disagrees that the other three cops should be fired and possibly charged as well. But that kicked off a hornet's nest, which I think people should be protesting, but not for the reasons that they're protesting. People should be protesting because a cop killed an American citizen. Regardless, he wasn't fighting back, from what I could tell. Let's see, that's the part that everyone agrees on as an unjustified killing. So the issue I see is you got law enforcement doing unsafe tactics when detaining someone. That's the core issue. It's nothing to do with race. Like you mentioned, I'm not bringing up any race in this one, in this particular instance. So that kicked off protests and riots um, within Minnesota, in that city where he was from. There's protests and it turns into rioting and looting, and they burned down a police station. That's taking it to the extreme. And then that's just my thoughts on it. Protests are good because that makes the people heard. The will of the people need to be heard. No one's disagreeing with that. It's when it becomes looting, when it becomes rioting, and attacking cops. Those are all bad ideas. And now we have stories that cities want to defund or disband the only thing that's keeping law and order. I also find that's wrong too. I think that's an overstep. That's a reactionary step. Now I get it. People are pissed off. Rightfully so. There's a right way of doing things and a wrong way of doing things. I don't think defunding the cops is the answer. I believe in law and order. My version of law and order may be different from someone else's law and order, which is great. We can have that discussion. But for me, what's happening right now is terrible. You got New York, which is a war zone. I don't know if New York is going to recover. I don't know. They're already losing people. And if people lose the trust of the government, that's terrible. On the same token, when the people fear the government, that's terrible. Only way that we can ensure is when the government fears its people. The government needs to hear the people. And in my town, there were mild riots. There were protestings that kind of turned slightly violent, and I wasn't down there because I don't want to participate. It is my choice. It's my First Amendment to not participate. But I support their right to protest. Keep in mind that's the First Amendment is protesting. So I agree with their choice to protest. But they burnt someone's car. It wasn't even a cop car, it was someone's personal car. They burnt some homeless dude's tent. And that's just from that. And they also shut down the major highway. And of course, the cops react because the cops always react. And I don't know what the right way to react to something like that. I honestly don't. But then you have, I mean, it's this, it creates a cycle. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. Like I said, I'm going to be rambling. So it creates the cycle. People protest, they turn into riot, and they loot. The cops have to react to stop the rioting and the looting. And sometimes they have to use force that reinforces the protesters and the rioters, and it creates a circle of violence, which is all bad. Don't get me wrong. But the other issue I see is cops are going to be cops. Now, I'm not excusing their actions. Cops is part of the government. It's the enforcement of the law and order. They take their marching orders from the government, whether it's the president, whether it's the Congress, whether it's the governor, the state senate, city council, mayors. For all the issues the cops are due, can be solved within the city council level. And that's pretty much what it is. That's the issue I see. People are upset with the cops in their hometown, and they conflate their cop's hometown with every cop, which is also the wrong way of. Me personally, think it's the wrong way of thinking it. So let's say in my town, if there's a history of police brutality, you take it up to the city council and you hold them accountable. If you don't see the changes, if they're still being overly aggressive, then you vote the city council and the mayor out. Yes, I do advocate for voting. In this election year, I don't know if your city council is up for a re-election, but if it is, and they're not listening to you, vote them out. And if the people that replace them don't listen to you, vote them out. Eventually, you're going to get a group of people that will listen to you, and everything will be semi peachy. It's never going to be 100% peachy. Like I said, I support their right to free speech because it is one of it is in the Bill of Rights. It's the First Amendment. The right to free speech and the right to peacefully protest. There's that group. I support that group. I don't support the looting group. I don't support the rioting group. I don't support the group that are attacking cops. If there's a bad cop, document, take it up with the police department, take it up with the city council, get that cop fired. And if their police union gets involved and reinstate them, sue the police union. Exactly. Use the legal system. There's plenty of money. People are volunteering to donate money for bail relief. Take some of that money and take the police unions to court saying that. I don't know. That's just my thought. There's a right way of doing it, and then there's a wrong way of doing it. And I don't think people understand what the right way is doing it. They go to the city council. They complain. They vote. They vote for the same idiots. They vote for the same party. And they're pissed off because nothing changes. Yeah, they only care about you when it's the election term. They give you sweet nothings. They're like, oh, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do police reform. 3 years later, it's nothing. Same issue. So it starts with the politicians. Hold the politicians accountable. And if they're not accountable, vote them out. All right. That's pretty much how that's kind of on my mind right now. I don't know if I'm going to post this. If it is, please comment down below. Hit that like button and subscribe button if you want to. If not, post a comment down if you disagree with my ramblings. Start a narrative. Let's find solutions. And let's put those solutions. Yeah, let's take those solutions and let's see if our city councils will do them. And if city councils won't do them, there's a lot we can do without the city. We are not beholden to the government in certain areas. And if you think if it's economic issues, let's build up the areas that are suffering from poor economics. Go out there, mentor kids, teach kids right and wrong. I mean, there are things that we could do. We don't have to rely on the government. Like go into a ghetto, come up with a community group, teach people a trade. Doesn't matter. Just show them that there's other ways of living that they don't have to resort to a life of crime. These are things that we can do without the government assistance. Would it be easier with government assistance? Maybe, maybe not. The government is ran by people, and the people are the community. The reason why we have governments is because we are a community. I don't know, that's just my thoughts. I'm not sure really. That's just my thoughts. Get out there, be a be the change that you want. Be the better person, and have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or night.